Hello, welcome to the Long Island Weather Update. Merry Christmas. It is Christmas Eve, and I do have a video for you eventually of some of the beautiful Christmas lights I saw in Belmore and especially Lynbrook. Lynbrook was really just spectacular, and I have a whole video of that for you. But I wanted to show more, but I tell you, absolutely incredible there. As far as the weather today, it wasn't very incredible. It was cloudy. We did have some rain early in the mornings, and you can see we're just socked in with the clouds here, and that's going to be the theme this whole week. We've got a really sucky week up ahead. Last week of 2023, how fitting for it to be another sucky week of weather for you. But first, let's go over yesterday's weather. So yesterday was also fairly cloudy, and our highs got up into the mid-40s. And our lows, overnight lows, in the morning it did get down to 16. Other than that, we did have 20s and a little not quite as cool in New Jersey. So we'll go to the almanac now, and we will look at the almanac for yesterday and today. So you had two kind of cloudy days in a row, and you better get used to it. Not going to see much sun. First, we'll start with yesterday. So yesterday, islip hit 43 degrees apparently, and we were still 2 degrees below normal for the day, the low of 22. This was again yesterday, Saturday. For today, islip got up to, that's not today. Actually, hold on a second. I was on the wrong one. No, I wasn't the right one. All right, so it's this one. All right, so today it got up to 50. So we were 8 degrees above normal on the high. The low of 39 was 11 degrees above normal, putting us 10 degrees above normal. So, again, just we're going to be above normal all week long, unfortunately. And looking across the country right now, you can see here we do have a major winter storm in the upper Midwest there. They got blizzard warnings in effect over there, but no such thing for us. So looking at us, we've got temperatures still very mild tonight, 45 degrees, well above. We're supposed to be, they're almost 15 degrees above normal, 44. Normally supposed to be around 30 degrees at this time of night. So, yeah, very, very warm, very much above normal today. Let's look at our highs on the map for today, and you'll see across Long Island, mostly got to around 50 degrees. A little bit cooler on the North Shore with some upper 40s, mid to upper 40s, and low 50s in New Jersey. Not surprisingly, warmest there. Lows, generally, again, around 40 degrees. Upper 30s, above normal, well above normal. Looking at the day at islip, so we got to pay for those two back-to-back beautiful days with a week of crap now. That's the way it always goes. So you see here, just overcast all day. You can see temperatures generally around 50 degrees. We had light northerly winds, no sea breeze at all today. Just very light northerly winds, and again, we're socked in with the clouds. Looking at our weather map here, you can see here. We've got this just messed up situation here. Big low in the Midwest, but we're on the warm side. You got this high that's kind of becoming an Atlantic high. That's bringing us that onshore flow, which is giving us plenty of clouds and so forth. So let's look at our models here. And before we get to we will talk about the upper air pattern going into this week because it's going to be pretty crappy. So let's take a look at our jet stream right now on the GFS. And you see the jet stream is just a completely disorganized mess. Still got this very crazy fire hose going on there in the Pacific here. And that's going to continue much of this month. And you can see we have an opportunity for rain Wednesday into Thursday with a low-pressure wave. You can see the jet stream. It looks a little bit different now. As we start heading toward the end of the month, you notice some troughing going on here. I mean, at the end of the year and the end of the month, you notice some troughing. And as we get into January, you notice the jet stream looks a little different, a little bit less of a fire hose, and that might make for some opportunities for some colder air to come in. And like I said, I'm not really only going to cover to the end of the year in this update, and then I'll talk about the long range a little more another time this week, probably, or maybe, like I said, probably maybe a little bit more this week, I guess. But it does look better. Now this is the GFS. So let's go to the European model and see what that looks like on the 12Z. Again, there's your fire hose jet. And you can see the European, unfortunately. All right, yeah, here's the change here. And again, as you get toward, all the models seem to show this, as you get toward the next year, 2024, you'll notice a little different look to the jet stream here. And that will mean some kind of change in the pattern that we've been dealing with. Let's go to the upper air now, 500 MB. So this is your upper air. We looked at the jet stream, so now we're looking at the upper air. So you see that ridge that's over us, just a crazy ridge, big troughing in Alaska. And you can see this cutoff low here in the center of the country that's going to slowly march its way east and eventually bring us some precipitation. And we're going to have to watch for precipitation chances with this. We could be dealing with them for a number of days this week. And then as you go into, as far as we go out here on the European, and you'll see here that there is a bit of a change here. All right, whether it's going to be a change to any really cold air, that remains to be seen, but it will be a change. Let's go to the GFS now, which does go a little further out than the European. The GFS actually is way deeper with that low, and it looks like it has a low going to our south, a really intense low on Friday. And then here comes another low that would form. Now we're coming into January here. You notice a little bit of a different look here. And you notice, you follow the isobars, they're now diving down into the, this is going to set us up for some more cold air. And I do see some troughing here. And then look toward the end. We got a Greenland block, and that's a good pattern to have if you want cold and snow. Whether that's going to stay there or not is another story. All right. So there's one more parameter I could look at here in Northern Hemisphere, and we can just use this here. This kind of just shows, nope, that's not the right one. This is it. Polar vortex. We'll just look at this for a moment here. You see, it looks like there's some kind of change here, some kind of shift going on. And you see that there. It almost looks like there's a split going on right there. And that could mean some colder air coming into the picture, all right, as we get into 2024. So just keep that in mind. Let's now go to the CONUS view, and we'll look at our temperature anomaly chart. So you can see here way above normal, and we're going to be way above normal in much of the country for the rest of this year. You can see we're staying above normal pretty much. I mean, it's not just us, it's Canada too, the whole, I mean, everything's above normal. You see below normal in the south, but as we get into 2024, you'll start to notice some below normal temperatures starting to make their way toward the east, and that's important there. That's a sign that we will have some more cold air coming into the picture as we get into 2024. Hopefully this will verify and will work out. We're still a ways away, and things could change, and it could always back off on it. However, I think the Euro kind of shows that too a little bit. Euro doesn't go far enough out, but you see the Euro and the GFS kind of match up with each other pretty well. So let's go to the Euro. We'll now go to the surface on the European, and you'll see what we got going on. So we got this high pressure. Again, it's going to keep us dry. I'll have a dry Christmas day. You see the storm in the Midwest here. But you see it kind of just gets stuck there. Again, because the jet stream's all, there's no real organized jet stream to move this around. Now, later Wednesday would be our next chance of rain with this low pressure system here. And then the second one that forms stays offshore for Friday. It does stay off to the south. And then you can see here's another bigger storm right here. This looks like this would be the kind of storm that would bring colder air perhaps behind it, if we went to the temperatures, which we could do right now. You definitely see there could be some colder air behind that storm. So let's go back to this. Let's go to the GFS, which has the storm in a completely different position. Obviously, it's a ways out. So look at the surface on the GFS now, and you see pretty much the similarities we have. See, Tuesday should be dry. Wednesday, we're going to have to watch for wet weather later in the day and the evening. Thursday should be okay, but we're going to have to watch the formation of this low on Friday, perhaps for some more precipitation chance. It would be rain because it's not cold enough for anything else. But then you'll notice here, looking at the surface, there's a storm that's forming offshore. And here we go again, January 4th. It looks like it has another big storm there going over our area. But then you'll notice that the colder air starts moving into the area. In fact, hold on a second. We're not using the right mode here. Yeah, this is proper. So we're going to back up a little bit because the Euro doesn't have that mode. They mixed the precipitation mode. You see no snow for us. So I saw the snow missing. I'm like, something is wrong here. So you can see there's the snow up in the Midwest there. But see that storm there? It's not really going to be cold enough for any snow if we do get some moisture with that. But you'll see here as we get into the next setup, you'll see here this low here, and again it would go. Now I know I'm talking about 2024, but you can see it would go up there, and then that ushers in the cold air, and then we're really in the cold air. We're locked into the cold air as we get into January here. All right, so we definitely get into some cold air, and I'm really looking forward to it. So let's now go to the now that we looked at that, let's go a little closer here on our short range models here and talk more about the short range weather. So we're dry tomorrow, no rain, plenty of clouds, but no rain. For Tuesday, we have that high again over us, so it's going to keep the rain away. But you notice as we get toward Wednesday, that's when we're going to have to watch out for the next chance for some rain around here. Let's look at our dew points and wind flow. So our dew points and wind flow, as you see here, we continue with the east. It actually becomes more of an easterly flow by tomorrow. So we have east winds tomorrow. The air stays relatively dry. We stay in the easterly flow for Tuesday as well, but you notice there's that warmer air in the southeast that's kind of lurking around. So temperatures for tomorrow, we will probably be similar to where we were today, upper 40s, maybe close to 50. Won't be dropping off too much at night either with the cloud cover. And then Tuesday might wind up being a bit cooler, like mid-40s, still above normal though. So let's go now to the GFS, so we go a little bit further and look at the rest of it. Look at the GFS, a lot warmer for Tuesday, so do have some differences here. And also a little warmer for Monday as well. So perhaps the GFS is bringing in more sunshine, and that could get the temperatures higher, of course. And then looking at your temperatures, and look at that. Wednesday, we're warming up there, so we're at 50s a lot of days. There's the southeast wind, looking at your dew points and wind flow. And then behind it, here we are Thursday, and you'll notice the winds try to go more northwest, but still this air isn't all that dry at all. And then here's your storm. You can see the easterly winds there. We'd have to watch out for, and then the winds go northerly. And then by the weekend, you see more of a northwesterly flow, and you get some, for the last day of New Year's Eve, you're going to have northwest winds, but nothing really bitterly cold until we go further along into the forecast. Until we get toward that first weekend of 2024, that's when it's bringing in the really cold air. As you see, look at that, especially as we get toward Tuesday. That looks like some pretty cold air. I know I'm going to the long range because it's just too tempting for me not to. And we look at our temperatures, we wouldn't even make it out above freezing on that Tuesday. So that looks like a really nice air mass to have around. So we'll have to see what happens with that. If we can get some clear skies with that, it would work out great. So here are your temperatures again. Going to the weekend, you see it cools down a little bit, but still kind of above normal. We're going to have to wait. We're going to be above normal until probably a couple of days into 2024, and then things will finally start getting colder here. And again, it's just, look at that beautiful air mass right there. That's great. And I'm just going to put the skies up and see what the skies look like, because we could have some nice clear skies with that, perhaps. I'm sure we will, hopefully. So, but anyway, speaking of skies this week, because we still got to get there. We got to go through a whole week of suck before we even get there. So here's your Monday, Christmas Day. Lots of clouds around. Tuesday, it's trying to bring sun out further east you go, then clouds. Then we're in the clouds Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and maybe by Sunday or the weekend we'd finally get to see some clear skies. I'm not going to run the sky model any more further than that. Let's look at the RGEM, which is the other sky model we can use. And you see here, plenty of clouds tonight and tomorrow. You see that they kind of burn off a little bit, but you're going to have a lot of clouds around, I think. And then it kind of tries to clear it out a little bit overnight, and then it clouds up again. And then we're just kind of stuck in the clouds, as you see there, Wednesday into Thursday. So, it's going to be a rather cloudy week. You're not going to have a lot of sun. And, of course, we have those rain chances. So we can go look at the NAM if we want to look at this. Goes a little further and show you when their next rain chance would be. And, again, it's that Wednesday. Wednesday, I think, is when we could have the next rain chances in the area, though it doesn't look like it would be anything too heavy at this point, though. It has been such a wet December. Total accumulated precip still could give us a possible another inch of rain. We're going to have to watch this, obviously. So, lastly, we'll do the Climate Prediction Center, and it was encouraging here. You notice the below normal temperatures in the southeast and the above normals go out west. We're dry on the precipitation outlook, so we need a break from all this damn rain. 8 to 14 day, staying close to normal, and temperatures close to normal. So it does show some cooling, and we will have to be cautiously optimistic that we get some more winter weather here. And we get some winter, because so far it hasn't felt like winter at all. And this Christmas is just such a warm Christmas, and that's, at least it's not raining, I guess. But it's, I mean, I'm walking around in the night looking at the Christmas lights. I had to take my jacket off; it's so warm. So anyway, have a good night, Merry Christmas, and thanks for watching. And hopefully you will enjoy your Christmas and have a great Christmas. And tomorrow, I'm going to be taking a break from the weather update, so I'll be back on Tuesday. Merry Christmas, everybody.